I served in the Marines myself in Iraq, Afghanistan. Both of my grandfathers were what in America we call Gold Star brothers. Each of my grandfathers lost a brother in World War II. One was killed in Italy, one was killed in the Philippines, and my grandfather fought and was wounded right here in Bastogne. The last letter my uncle wrote home from when he fought in Italy before he was killed was how much he enjoyed shooting the M1 rifle, which was the standard rifle at that time. So I went and bought an M1 Grand rifle, and I decided to take it to my next door neighbor who was a World War II veteran, and I showed him this rifle. And when I put the rifle in his hands, it brought back all memories. And he was smiling and waving it around, and he began to tell me all sorts of stories from the Pacific. He was a Marine who served in the Battle of Okinawa. While he was telling me these stories, I found it very therapeutic, and I asked him to sign my rifle. And when I left his house, I looked down on it, and I said, I think I want to get as many signatures as possible. And the next person I had sign my rifle was in the Battle of the Bulge, and began to tell me stories about the Battle of the Bulge, including me leading up to meeting men who served and fought with my grandfather in the Battle of the Bulge. So it became an obsession to get as many names on this rifle as possible, and I ended up interviewing over 200 veterans and wrote a book called The Rifle. And hearing their stories about Bastogne, the Battle of the Bulge, I asked if they would ever consider returning, and they said yes. So I started a GoFundMe page and raised $70,000 to bring 17 veterans and their family members back for the 75th anniversary. So.
That's amazing.
I just hope I got to see where my grandfather was wounded, where his foxholes were. I wish he could have been here and I could have talked to him and he could tell me more. And besides myself getting emotional, bringing back the men who never returned in 75 years and now at the age of 95, why they agreed to come back with me, I don't know. Because I could see them crying on the coach bus as they recognized the trees, the fields, the farmhouses. Sorry.
No.
There's something about seeing a 95-year-old man weep that's different than a young person. I brought men back to Normandy, I brought men back to Italy, and this one, Belgium, was the biggest group, 17. So this time I got to see 17 different reactions. They're not able to point out the exact house they were in when they were taking fire or when they were getting shelter. But it was about the environment and the terrain that no matter what, if you have dementia, if you're old, it's the terrain, the rows of trees that bring back the memories of the war. And of course, the Army is very unit specific, so when they see what they used to wear on their shoulder patch every single day for 2-3 years on a monument, it gets them emotional, it brings them back to see that unit logo again. Every man, no matter how bad their dementia is or how much they forget, they know what unit they were in. They were in the 1st Infantry Division, they were in the 82nd Airborne, they were in the 101st, the 90th, the 30th. I think the Belgian people remember tremendously. They crowd the streets, they crowd the museums so we can't even walk because they just want to get a glimpse of an actual World War II veteran who liberated them. They're taught at a very young age that these guys are superheroes. Most of these men want autographs to keep and to wear on their jackets. I saw several men, grown men, asking these veterans to sign their jackets so they can wear their names.